Hello, fellow word lovers. Welcome to Words I Love, where I talk about words I love. I'm Professor Snoozy, and I am so happy you could join us. For those of you who don't know, I make one short video flashcard every day with a word I personally love. Every week, I'd make a longer video where I talk more about this week's words. So, get ready. We're going to start right up and get into the words of the week. Context, define, connotation, denotation, authority, specificity, and obfuscation. But first, make sure you pay attention to this guy. Subscribe and learn a new word every day. Define. Break it down. The root of this word is fin or fine. It means the end. De means out of. Define means to find the meaning of a word, but it also says where the word starts and where the word ends. Another use of the word define might be for muscles. There's no line right here. That means I can't see where the muscle starts and where the muscle stops. My muscles are not defined. Define is a verb. If I want to, I can use the word definition as a noun. So definition is the meaning of a word. Define is to say what that word means. How often will you hear this word? You will hear this word a lot. And if you are studying English, you will hear this word even more than that. Context. Let's break it down. Text is the root, and it means the words on a page. Con means with. If I understand the words before another word, and then I understand the words after that word, I can understand what that word means. If I see a word in one context, it might be different than in another context. We can use the word context also to talk about people, or indeed any other thing. I might act differently in one context as a teacher than I do in another context as a husband. What part of speech is context? Context is a noun. If I want to, I can use contextual as an adjective, or I can use the word contextualize as a verb. And that would mean to put a word or a person or a thing into a circumstance or describe the circumstances around a word. How often will you hear the word context? We use the word context quite a bit because we understand that things change depending on the circumstances they are in. Denotation. Let's break it down. Note is a thing that you write down. Ation is a suffix that makes a verb into a noun. De here means completely, so denotation is completely write down everything about a word. A denotation of a word is the dictionary definition of the word. Denotation is a noun. Denote is a verb. You can think of denote as mean. This denotes that. This means that. Denotation then would be meaning. The denotation of this word is that. The meaning of this word is that. How often will you hear this word? You will not hear this word very often unless you are talking about dictionary definitions and how they relate to the next word we're going to talk about. The next word we will talk about is connotation. Break it down. Notation, we know, is the thing that we write down. Con, we know, is with. With the definition of a word come the feelings that that word also brings about. Let's take two words. Crazy. Crazy means someone does something and I think that is strange. I don't like it. It is different than the way other people act. Eccentric means that person does something different and I think it's interesting and I might think it's funny. So eccentric and crazy have similar denotations, but very different connotations. Connotation is a noun. You can also use the form connote as a verb, but really we're going to stick to the noun form more often. Authority. Break it down. Author is the writer of a book or the first person to think of an idea. Ity is a suffix and it means a quality or the way something is. Authority is pretty complex, so let's think about 3 different ideas. If we have a policeman, the policeman is an authority. He is an authority. That means the person that can tell me what to do, and I have to do it. Authority is also what we call the power that the policeman holds. The policeman has the authority to tell me what to do. 2 different uses that mean close to the same thing. A different meaning of authority, someone who knows more about something than other people do. Maybe I am an authority on words to some people. I bring my car to a mechanic who is an authority on cars. What part of speech is this? Authority is a noun. Authorize is a verb, and it means I say it's okay. I authorize this thing. Authorization means someone has told me I can do this. I have authorization to park my car here because I'm supposed to be here. You will hear this word a lot because we always know there's someone who can tell us what to do. Specificity. Break it down. Speci here is from species, and that means the kind or the sort or the category of that something belongs in. Ficus here means make or put. So we put things into their categories. Ity is a suffix that means quality or the way something is. To be specific means I talk about this one thing and I don't confuse it with other things. Think of a tree. A tree has many leaves. If I want to talk about one leaf out of those many leaves, I have to be specific when I describe what leaf I'm talking about. Specificity is the quality of being specific. Specific is an adjective, specificity is a noun, and specify is a verb. You will hear this word pretty often. We use this word a lot because we want to understand exactly what the other person is talking about. So we might say, please be specific. I want to know what you're talking about. Obfuscation. Break it down. Ob means over or completely. Fuscate means to make darker. Ation is a suffix that makes a word into a noun. Obfuscation is using words that I know the other person will find hard to understand. Obfuscation is a noun, and if I want, I can use the word obfuscate. You will not hear the word obfuscation very much. It is a harder word in English. I include it here to understand that if we understand how to use words properly, not only do we have the power to explain what we mean, to highlight what we mean, we also have the power to darken what we mean. We also have the power to use words that confuse the meaning of what we're thinking. These are the powers invested in a great vocabulary. I want to thank you for joining us for this week's words. Write a sentence with any one of them down in the comments, and I'll take a look at a couple of them. Maybe you'll get some points. Remember, building a great vocabulary is not a destination, it's a road. We walk it step by step. We live it day by day. We build it brick by brick. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Professor Snoozy. I'll see you next time.